Donald Trump says he's expecting to be arrested Tuesday and he's calling for protests. What's your reaction to that?
Well, here we go again. Another politically charged prosecution against the former president of the United States. And it really is, I think it's going to, I think many Americans are taken aback at the unprecedented indictment of a former president, but also the fact that the Manhattan DA, in the midst of a crime wave in New York City, it says that indicting the former president is his highest priority. It tells you everything you need to know about the liberal left in this country. You know, the American people here in Iowa and my home Indiana, around the country, are focused on record inflation, a crisis at our border, high energy prices, the war in Ukraine, threats from the Chinese military, and how we're going to respond to all of that. And yet, here we go again. Once again, a politically charged prosecution in New York City. And I know President Trump can take care of himself. For my part, I'm going to continue to focus on the issues important to the people here in Iowa and issues important to people all across the country.
Are you concerned
that
the president's comments are reminiscent of the kind of comments that he made ahead of the attack on the U.S. Capitol?
Look, the American people have every right to peaceably assemble and to let their voice be heard. And I think it's extremely important that people have a right to express themselves and express the frustration that they feel to see a liberal Manhattan DA poised to indict a former president of the United States. But that being said, there can be no tolerance for the kind of violence that we saw on January 6th or throughout the summer of 2020. And so I want to respect the right of every American to speak their mind about this. But it's important that we do so peacefully, express ourselves peacefully, and let the matter take its course.
What might happen this time?
I have great confidence in the American people. January 6th, or the riots that took place in cities across the country in 2020, I don't think represents the broad mainstream values of the American people. Look, we respect the right of Americans to let their voice be heard and to express the frustration over what appears to be a politically motivated prosecution of the former president. But we want to send a very clear message that violence will not be tolerated, and that anyone that would engage in violence would be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.